Welcome. In this week's video, we're going to talk about development notifications your community league will receive from the City of Edmonton. In general, your league can expect to receive a variety of public notifications, which include Class B discretionary development permits, which we will discuss today, in addition to proposed rezoning applications, proposed amendments to area plans, notice of public hearings, and notice of subdivision and appeal board hearings. These notices will come in the mail and they will vary both in complexity and in volume. In addition to the paper notifications that get sent out to your league, all proposed planning applications are available on the City of Edmonton website. These can be found by navigating to edmonton.ca, clicking on City Government, clicking on Urban Planning and Design, clicking on Planning, and finally clicking on Planning Applications. Now just pause here a moment and bookmark this page so it's a little bit easier to access in the future. Once you're here, you can scroll down and find whatever ward your neighborhood is located in, and then pick from the list whatever neighborhood you're interested in, and you will be able to see the planning applications received by the city in the Central McDougall neighborhood, both proposed and approved. However, you generally won't find simple development notices on the site, but you can expect to see more major rezoning applications and plan amendments. As I mentioned, I will only focus on approved development permits in this video. So these notices are typically the most common notices leagues will receive and are generally the least complex. However, I would say they are usually the most text and jargon heavy notices, which can be a little bit overwhelming if you're new to a civics role with your league. So using a recent example from the community of Royal Gardens, I will walk you through all of the relevant information on the notice, and by the end, you will be a pro at reading them. So essentially, a development permit is written approval from the city that an applicant's plans are in accordance with Edmonton zoning regulations and that they have the go-ahead to begin building. The first paragraph of the notice will give you a snapshot of what the new development will look like. In the case of this notice, a new child care center will be opening within an existing community recreation services building. Now, leagues will only receive notice of approved Class B development permits that have been approved with a variance or discretionary use. In this example, we see the variance that has been granted is a reduction in parking spaces. So this site has 40 parking spaces instead of the mandated 45. Class A permits are those permits that are in full compliance with the zoning bylaw, and your league will not receive notification of them. A development permit approves the use of a site as well as the size and location of any buildings or structures. They must be obtained for all new construction, renovations, businesses, and changes to the use of existing buildings. So while in this notice we're seeing an internal renovation or the change to the use of an existing building, you'll also receive notices for everything from construction of a new garage to the development of a basement suite to simple exterior alterations. However, remember, you will only receive notice if the development is Class B, meaning it was granted a variance or is a discretionary use. So the notice will tell you where the permit has been awarded, what zone it is in, and if there are any applicable overlays. In this example, we see the new development will be located at 4030 117th Street, that it is in the AP Public Park Zone, and that there are no applicable overlays. If you are interested in learning more about the regulations for a particular zone, you can navigate to Edmonton zoning bylaw and search your zone of interest to learn more. So here is Edmonton's online zoning bylaw, which is very handy. Click search, type in the zone, which in this case is AP Public Parks. Hit go, and there you have it. You have the zoning bylaw information for the AP Public Park Zone, which includes all of the relevant information about this zone. Next, in the paragraph titled Notice and Appeals, you will see that the intent of these notices is to not only ensure that neighborhoods are aware of development that's about to occur in the community, but to provide notice that you are able to actually appeal a development that has been approved in your community. These appeals would be heard by the Subdivision and Appeal Board, which is an independent body of council, and you have 21 days to file the appeal. So in this case, the notice was sent to this league on July 18th, and then from July 23rd to August 13th, the league or neighbors were given 21 days to appeal the development. So moving along to the next page, in the event that you did wish to file an appeal and learn more about that process, it provides you with all of the relevant contact info for the Subdivision and Appeal Board, but it also provides relevant contact info for the planner who is working on this file. And they're able to field any general questions that you might have about the development permit. They also provide a really handy visual guide that includes common terms that you might see in the notice. Unfortunately, in the case of this notice, because it was basically just internal renovations happening to an existing building, we didn't see a lot of this. But for example, you might see principal building on the notice, which just refers to the house, the main house. Or you might see accessory building, which would refer to the garage. Maybe one that most people wouldn't know, maybe the rear setback, which refers to the distance between the principal building and the rear lot line. So really useful, especially if you are new to reading and receiving these permits. So that concludes this video on development permit notices. If you did have any questions on how to interpret these notices more generally, feel free to reach out to the community planner at the FCL, or if you had a specific notice and had specific questions about that notice, know that you can always find the planner's information and they will be happy to answer any questions you might have. All right, thank you so much. Have a great day.